Most High God, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, for Sicarii Phoenix. And today we're going to talk about, does the color of Christ matter? It's a topic that gets brought up a lot whenever we talk about what Yahushua actually looks like. People usually fire back with, why does it matter? So now we're going to find out why it matters. We're going to start with John chapter 7 and verse 38.
It's the book of John, chapter 7, verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
See that? So, who the world ignorantly calls Christ just said out of his own mouth, he that believes on him, as the scriptures have said. All right? That's who's going to get this, all right? So give me 2 Timothy 3 and 16. Three and 16.
It's the book of 2 Timothy 3 and 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh.
All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh. Go ahead.
And is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
See that? So it's profitable for all these things in righteousness. In doctrine, instruction, reproof. If it's in the scriptures, it came from God. And if it came from God, it matters. It's important. All right? So, give me Revelation 1 and 1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Hamashiach Yahushua, which Yahweh gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
So this is the revelation of who the world calls Jesus Christ. All right? Go ahead.
And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
All right, so this his servant John is the one that's revealing this to everybody else. It was revealed to him, and he's writing it down in a book. Go to verse 13.
Verse 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
The Son of Man is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Real name in the Hebrew, Hamashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So he's being described here, starting with what he's wearing. He's wearing a long garment, and he's wearing a golden girdle. Go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
So his hair and his beard were woolly in texture and white in color. Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
So his feet were like unto fine brass. As it was mentioned earlier, he was wearing a long garment down to the foot. So he's completely covered up except his feet, right? So John was able to see his feet, and he saw that they were the color of fine brass. Brass is a derivative of brown. Read on.
As if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
So his feet were the color of fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. If you know anything about working with brass, or if you've ever bought brass furniture or appliances in your home, you know, you can get something called burnished brass. It was a way of polishing brass that was an ancient practice, right? And it turns the brass a darker brown, a very dark brown with a golden sheen to it. Go ahead and give me Revelation 2 and 18.
Revelation 2 and 18. And unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write, these things saith the Son of God, who hath his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass.
So that's a reiteration of what we read earlier, okay? Showing that his feet are like unto fine brass, all right? So give me Revelation 22 and 19, okay? So we've seen in 2 different areas a physical description of who the world calls Jesus Christ. He was a black man with woolly hair. And it matters, all right? And to those that say it doesn't matter, you should have kept reading. Go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation 22 and 19. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life.
So wait a minute. If you take away anything from this book, Yahweh's going to take away your name from the book of life. Read that again.
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book.
See that? So if you say that the color of Christ doesn't matter, you're going to be removed from the book of life. If you say that the color of Christ doesn't matter, you're not getting into the holy city. If you say that the color of Christ doesn't matter, the blessings that are written in this book are not going to pertain to you. All right? Because you have to believe on him as the scripture has said. And the scripture is good for doctrine, reproof, and righteousness. All right? So with that, call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.